And hear me. Can you see me in the camera there?
Yes, I can.
Okay. And I am live.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're just going to make sure we can see. Okay, everybody, hang on. Okay, so now we're just going to make sure we can see.
Okay.
Yay!
Hooray, hooray.
Okay, we are back. So, thank you for patiently waiting. Hopefully, you are all coming back. Sound issues, like camera issues, I figured out how to fix those, like, while I stay streaming. But audio issues, I have the biggest problem with getting back the audio feed if it's gone. So I had, I babysat last weekend, and after I was at their house, and while I was putting them to bed, I needed a cord. And so I did unplug my cord from here, which I normally don't do. It's like, don't touch the cords. And I said to my mom, I'm unplugging a cord, and she kind of looked at me like, oh. But I wasn't going home where my extra cord is. So anyways, we thought it was working, and yeah, the volume wasn't working. So anyways, now we're back. Now we have volume. It's Fun Time Thursday. Yay! So we are doing our thankful cards today. I was supposed to post my Crafter's Classroom, which I did, and I know I'm doing like triple mini window cards and triple like circle and square Z-fold cards, but I don't have my samples done, so I'm going to work really hard over the weekend to do those and my next Fun Time Thursday. So anyways, let's go down to the table and get started. We're starting a few minutes late.
Okay, wait a minute. Okay. It's there.
Okay, so we are down on the table, or my mom is, or the camera is. I forgot to get a couple of my supplies out, but I'm doing that right now. So the pictures that you see, we're doing this kit. So if you have the kit, pull it out. And we are almost ready to go. So, okay, so we are doing our thankful cards. I think we're going to start with this one because this one is the easiest one. So we'll just start with that one. So I do have a question for you all though. I am wondering how many people have a score pal or a score board? Okay, let's not go to how many people have it. I want you to comment if you do not have a score pal or scoreboard, because I'm thinking about using it in one of my next Fun Time Thursdays. So score pal or scoreboard, do most people own one? Or maybe comment if you do have one. Maybe comment for sure if you don't have one, because yes, I'm thinking about using that in my next Fun Time Thursday. So I'm just wondering how many people might have that. So let's pull out this card, and I have it right in front of me. So yeah, I'm just curious how many people have one. I did not have one for the longest time. My way of scoring was using a ruler. So my way of scoring was using a ruler and a stylus. So that was my way of scoring. So just wondering, kind of a vote, how many people have a score pal or scoreboard, or more importantly, how many people do not? So
I do.
I know.
I do.
But yeah, I finally bought one because I'm like, all of my card stock is scored and die cut. So like, why would I have one? But I do use them when I'm like mocking things up, or like scoring the. Oh, excuse me. I have to get a water. I got one.
Okay.
Okay. So we're pulling this one out. And I haven't looked at these kits in a while, so there's our Mini Slimline envelope. Let's just go through our parts. Mini Slimline envelope. We also have a gift card envelope because we have a Slimline card that we're going to cut apart. The little layers are for your little mini. The bigger layers are for your bigger card that we're going to start with. You should have some words. And I stamped them, and a lot of times I print stuff, and it's perfect. These I stamped, so sometimes you might have 2 on there because I wasn't happy with one, or you might have some on the back because I wasn't happy, or you might just have one because I was like, oh, this is pretty good. And then you have these because you could use any of these images on your little card right here. So it doesn't have to be a Thanksgiving card. It can be Thanksgiving, it can be Thanksgiving, or it doesn't have to be Thanksgiving. So, and then in your envelope, like in this envelope, was your words. So that's in your envelope. Make sure to look in your envelope. That was an issue over the weekend because there were things in envelopes.
Yeah.
So,
And
anyways.
things not where they belong. All right.
So, oh, Pat and Heather are live. Yay. Anyways, so we are going to pull out a personal paper trimmer. And we are first going to trim. So this is our Slimline card. It's 3.5 by 8.5. We are going to trim it to 6 inches. And then you get a little 2.5 inch gift card. So trim your Slimline card to 6 inches because that gives you a Mini Slimline card and a little gift card. So 1 card into 2 cards. All right. So the little Mini Slimline is going to go with these and with our little Mini Slimline envelope and this little Mini Slimline layer. All right. Yep, we got everything. So now for our pieces, and this one I actually used pieces from a different kit, so I'm not going to totally do the Mini Slimline one to start with, which I should have started with the other one first, but I put it together a while ago and I didn't remember exactly what I did. So, so you do have 2 layers for your Mini Slimline. One is for the inside and one is for the outside. And likewise, for your little Mini Slimline card, you have 2 layers also. One, and I just wanted to show you the difference. One is a linen. Okay, and I picked the linen because this paper kind of has a linen-y look to it. So you can either use that one on the inside or you can use it on the outside. I'm going to use it on the outside. I'm going to put my smooth one, because that's the one that you might write on the inside. So that's how your layers go. And likewise with your little gift tag, you have a linen one and a smooth one. You can use them however you want. We are going to start with some brush blending. So we're just going to brush blend in our goldenrod ink pad. I think I might have added a little bit of orange or a darker yellow to the centers here. So I did brush blend, and I did take my blending brush and I picked up my goldenrod ink pad. I usually start off, but then this one I did pretty much do the whole thing because I didn't like the white background. So I pretty much did the whole thing, but then I did my sunflowers a little bit darker. And I either used an orange or a darker yellow, and I did the inside. So I'm going to pull an orange out. I forgot to say that in the directions or in the supplies needed. So if you have an orange, you can pull an orange out. Or if you have a darker yellow, you can use that. And I am going to pull one of my smaller blending brushes just to give the center of the sunflower a little bit more color. And I pulled out one of my smaller blending brushes so I could target that area a little bit better. Because sometimes the middle of the sunflowers, now that's a little bit too much orange, but it's okay. I can always do some yellow over the top of it, which I think I might do. So yeah, I said to my mom, we need to make sure everything's working. And then we got to talking about other stuff and totally did not make sure the sound was working. That happens sometimes when we start chatting.
Yeah.
We forget what we're doing. Imagine that.
Sometimes I forget from 1 minute to the next. And we're all better, aren't we?
Yes, we are all better. Except for every once in a while. Cloggy throat. So, okay, so we have that. I am going to attach that to my linen. Now you can't see much of it, so if you want to use your linen on the inside, you can do that. But I'm just going to attach it right on there. Now I have some blue polka dots down here because I did like a custom card for my daughter.
That was a fun card.
Yeah, her boyfriend quit smoking a year ago, and so she said, "Can you do a custom congratulations for not smoking for a year card?" So I'm like, absolutely, I can do that. So yeah, I did a custom card for her, and so it was a magic card, and so that was on the front. You're a quitter, and then it was a magic card. So I colored his jeans blue, and then when they pulled it up, it was "You're a quitter and I like it." So with the crumbled up cigarettes or the broken cigarettes down below. So yeah, that was kind of fun. I always kind of like doing cards that kind of relate to the people that I'm doing them for, if at all possible. So yeah. She's like, "Well, I looked on Etsy and I found something like this." And I'm like, "Really? No. You cannot order one off of Etsy when your mom can make you one." So it was cute.
So what did he say about the card?
Oh, he was pretty excited. He loved it. She did a whole like gum tower and big number 1 in their kitchens for when he came home. So, and he did send me a picture of it. So yeah, she had this whole little congratulations display for him. So this one is our inside one. I'm just attaching it on the inside while I have my tape out. And then our ribbon. You can either put tape just on the back and attach it, but because this is a nice wide ribbon, I'm actually going to put tape right on my ribbon. Now you can attach it down below. You can just leave it "thanks" and you don't have to put any words. Or if you want to do words, you can leave a little room for words. You could do it right in the middle if you wanted. You could do "thanks" and then the words right here, so you can offset them onto this side. Whatever you want to do. But I am going to put adhesive on the back of my thing. Yeah, so when I was done with her card, I texted her, order confirmation.
It has to be a cryptic note in case he sees it, right?
No, I think I did it, when she was at work or
Okay.
whatever. Order confirmation, your order from Sarah's Customs Cards is ready for pickup. So, oh, it was fun. I did get all handmade cards from them for my birthday, though, because they were like, "What are we supposed to do when the person that makes cards for us is the one receiving the card?"
Yeah. So you got all store-bought cards.
I got all store-bought cards. But that's okay, I got cards from...
Oh, but you had 2 cards from me.
I got 2 cards from my mom. She found an older one that she had given to my dad, and she recycled it and gave it to me.
That was pretty fun, too.
Yeah. So I attached it, and then I'm just going to attach it right to the front of the card.
Next time I'll have to find a card that you made for your dad.
Yeah. Oh, you probably have them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Kathleen, my kids, they love my handmade cards. But I will say that, I think Josh, my youngest, saves them. Leah is not a saver, so she is more of a minimalistic, so when I give her cards, rather than throwing them out, she'll give them back to me to use as samples, which is fine.
And then maybe Josh comes in and gets it, right?
And then maybe Josh comes in, because he comes in and raids my cards. So yeah, I could not get away with giving a store-bought card to anybody. And I wouldn't even try, because no. At one point in my, stamping life, I was still buying cards. And at one point I said, this is stupid. You are not buying another card. And I have not bought a store-bought card since then.
Oh, yay.
Oh, I just lost the lid to my pokey tool in my garbage can. Oh,
No, do you want me to look in this?
no, it did not fall down.
Okay.
I had some paper in there, so it got stuck. So
Okay.
yay. So you do have, I wanted to build up the thanks a little just so you had more dimension. So you do have one brown one, and if you want to offset it, I offset it just a tiny bit, you can. And you have two cream ones to pile them on top of each other. But it's up to you. Now this is an 80 pound, this cream linen is 80 pound. But if you're like, hey, I'm good with it not raised and you want to keep the other ones just in your stash of sentiments, you do you. You do whatever you want to do. But that's why I gave you 3, because I piled the 2 cream ones on top of each other, and then I offset them on the brown. So you can use them all on one card. You can use them on 3 cards. Whatever you prefer. I'm going to get out my microdot adhesive to attach them together. Laura says that she has to make her dot. Yes, you have to make it. I think the next birthday that's coming up is, well, it's actually, you probably don't know about it, Mom. It's John's birthday. Leah's boyfriend.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
His birthday is in December.
Okay.
Yeah. And Leah said he likes bears. Like bears. Like, not teddy bears. Like,
Not Chicago Bears.
not Chicago bears and not teddy bears. So I do have a bear die. So I'm going to make some type of card with a scene and a bear on it for his birthday. And I think that will, I don't think I gave him a birthday card last year, because I think that'll still be his first birthday card from me. So, okay, now microdot adhesive.
In December, how close to Christmas?
Well, I want to say that it's on the 10th,
Okay.
but I'm not totally for sure. I should probably find that out. So yeah, depending on what people have going on in their lives, I'll make their cards, relevant to something that they're into or did or what they have going on. So these two I'm just going to pile on top of each other. Or if you can't think of anything, something with the number for their age, that's always good too. Or just a fun birthday card. Alright, now we are going to put microdot adhesive on the back of there. Then we're going to pile it on our thanks. And again, you may be doing 3 layers, or you may say, hey, I'm just going to use it for something else. That's up to you. And I haven't done that many thank you cards, like in our Fun Time Thursdays or our Crafters Classroom. I just decided, with the thankful season coming up, this would be a good time. Although I was thinking about it when I typed that in, and I was like, we should all be thankful all year round, not just around Thanksgiving. But I did decide to do it right now instead of doing Thanksgiving cards, because I don't know how many people send out Thanksgiving cards. I guess I'm kind of curious. Let's go there. How many of you send out Thanksgiving cards? So now we're going to attach that to the front. Now, I might use glue to attach that just so I make sure it sticks to my card front, because I'm sticking it on the ribbon. So yeah, just kind of curious. I do talk to customers, and somebody just ordered Christmas card kits, and they said they had, finished their Halloween, it was a few weeks ago, finished their Halloween cards, and now we're starting their Thanksgiving cards, but she was ordering her Christmas card kits so then she could start those right after her Thanksgiving cards.
Valerie Brown says she sends Thanksgiving cards, and so does Diana Newman.
I always remember getting Thanksgiving cards from my grandma.
Yep, she was
She did.
right there, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Kathleen Moore did this year. Wow, Peggy, 48 Thanksgiving cards. Did you send out Christmas cards then too?
That is awesome. I'm so glad you guys take my classes and mail cards. Getting mail is so much fun.
Yes.
So, and just thanking somebody for the little things, that's fun too.
Oh, and Bernice makes Thanksgiving cards for the shut-ins in nursing homes.
That's really nice.
That is nice too. That's true. There's so many people in those nursing homes and shut-ins that don't have family that come to visit or receive any thanks. So hugs to you all for doing that.
So let's see. There was a piece of brown in here. So if you want to cut up a word so much, a bunch, or just leave it the way it is, that's up to you. But yeah, that's all great that you send out cards. I always like to have a thank you card handy because it's something that I think about, I should send a thank you card. And if you don't have one, I don't always make one. But if I have one handy, birthdays I always make one because I have to. It could be an hour before I need to give it to somebody, but it's always handmade. But yeah, just to have a thank you card handy is really nice because then you can just jot a quick note. And it makes the person feel good.
Which reminds me, I have a couple of cards I need.
I have plenty in Sarah's stash.
I will go look. Oh my gosh, Peggy also did 48 Halloween cards.
That's super fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just cut out a word. I just hand cut it. You're welcome to use your personal paper trimmer. And I'm popping it up with foam tape. I don't know if Becky's watching, but yes, they are getting Thanksgiving cards next week. I don't think I saw Becky on.
I haven't had any notice from her.
Because I surely appreciate all that they do.
Yeah.
All right, so we have our first Thanksgiving card. Now this one, we're just going to set this one aside because I used the gold that was in another kit for that. So you'll have extra pieces and parts that you may want to use to make a little card. But I did use this guy, and I did take a punch. Well, I did fussy cut him. I did fussy cut that. But if you have a circle punch, you could punch out that. Or this one could be punched out. If you're doing this one, you could just cut the square layer. But we'll put that aside. We'll do that one later, just because I want to see what scraps I have from other cards. that you can utilize on there, because that's exactly what I did on there. So you want to keep your brown scrap that you have. Just going to set all those pieces right here, right in front of me. So later on when we get to that card and I say, where did I put those pieces? Just tell me, Sarah, they're right in front of you, next to the alcohol inks. So let's set that one aside.
Teresa, I like to do things in January too, because you're right. People are just needing a little bit of sunshine in January.
Yes, definitely. Okay, so this is the one we're going to do next. I went to the shop and I was going to grab pieces and parts for this one, but I didn't have any more of these printed ones, so I didn't. This was a stamp that I got, and this is a whole, so on this stamp set, it's from Rubbernecker, and it is the word thanks, and then down the whole sheet, so it's a whole clear set. There's a bazillion different words, so I just pulled out some to put on here. So you can pick any words you want. So that's what's in your kit. And then you have this die cut and an envelope. So we're going to set it aside because we don't need our envelope yet. We have a piece of copper. That one's cut to size. This one here is for behind our word thanks, but you have extra of it. So that's what I did use on our little mini gift card. Then you have a piece of Yupo, or you have a piece of Miri Sparkle. These are both for alcohol inking on, but you can use one on this card, one on another card. I'm going to demo on both of them, so then you can decide what you want to do. Oh, and I think this is cut to the wrong size.
Oops.
Yeah, oops, hang on a second. Yes. Oh, we just had a big oops. This one is cut to the wrong size. So if you want to wait to put this one together, I will mail you all this piece of cardstock because I cut it to the wrong size. I can't believe I did that because I did cut these pieces.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, well. Okay. So I'm going to see if I have a piece of copper in my pile next to me. But yes, I will put in an envelope and mail you all a piece of copper. Hang on, I'm in my pile that's sitting next to me.
Your organized pile that's sitting next to you.
My semi-organized pile next to me. This one's not as organized. But I might have to have you run out to the shop and get me a piece of copper if I tell you where it's at. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So in the very last aisle, on the right, before you go out into the loading dock, on the wall, that wall, they're in alphabetical order.
Okay, copper.
So just copper. If you have to open
What
them.
weight is that?
It's a cardstock.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I can't believe. Oh, this was a bad week for kidding. Phew. Huh. Okay. Well, anyways, I'm gonna move on because there's nothing I can do about it right now. Okay. So for the frame, this frame covers edge to edge, and we did one of these. We did one of these with the Halloween card during the cards, and I personally don't like the edge to edge because I like to have my border, and in this one it would have been a border of copper. So we're going to get out our personal paper trimmer and we are going to trim a little bit off of here. And it's up to you. If you want to do edge to edge, then you don't need the copper anyways because it goes all the way to the edge of your card. But if you want a little border, even if you don't want to use the copper, you still need to cut a little bit off that. So I cut about 1/16 of an inch, and I just like to eyeball it. Just try to cut the same amount off of each side. Thank you.
You're welcome. I didn't even get lost.
That's good.
Didn't need breadcrumbs to get
I would
back.
have sent a search party for you.
Yeah.
So if you want to, you are going to cut missing a piece or here or there is fine. Cutting a whole wrong size, that I normally don't do. And thank you for all saying it's okay, but for me, it's not. It's gonna bother me. But I will try to not let it bother me. Anyways, so you're gonna weed that out. Now these little guys are extra. You can use them if you want to. And actually,
the copper fits behind.
Yeah, the copper is supposed to fit. Maybe some people have them right. So the copper is supposed to fit on your A2 card. I believe it's, really close to the card size. Maybe some people got them right and we had to cut more copper and it got cut wrong. Maybe some of them are right.
That would be even...
That would be like awesome. So yes, the copper, see it's short. It's supposed to fit right on the front of your card with a little border going all the way around it. So if anybody has the right size copper, let me know, because maybe we cut twice.
Well, now you have a little piece of copper you can use for something else.
Yeah, you have a piece of copper that you can use for your other little gift card.
Yes.
So, anyways, if you are cutting this down and you do have copper or whatever, you can actually see if it layers. See if it's big enough to layer on there. All right, so there we go. So you are going to weed out
and along with other things this week, then Winnie decided to do something to her leg.
Yeah, the puppy was here this week, Winifred, and she must have hit like a pothole out in our backyard when she was out, and she started gimping, so she's only walking on 3 legs right now.
And she's doing a fine job.
And she's doing a really good job of it, but it's really kind of sad to watch. So I'm taking her to the vet tomorrow. And I have Ev tomorrow, and I have the baby tomorrow. Not baby, he's a toddler. And he cracks me up. Oh my gosh. He cracks me up a lot. So I did alcohol ink on the piece of Yupo behind it, but I'm also going to show you alcohol inking on the gold Miri Sparkle. You're free to do whichever you want, or maybe you like it just layered on the copper. So, but I am going to take these out of here because you could, I just want to show you the lava with alcohol inks also. And if you want to alcohol ink these leaves, to stick in there as a darker color, that would be pretty. Actually, I might do that. Okay, so let's pull out our alcohol ink. I'm going to set these off to the side. And I've got, let's see, I've got terracotta. I've got cranberry. I've also got rust. I've got honeycomb. And I have my alcohol ink dauber. Now I am going to start with the Miri Sparkle just because it dries. It goes on dark and then it takes a little bit to dry and then it lightens. So, but you don't have to do it with me. If you want to watch for a little bit, that's fine, because I'm going to do this one. I'm going to do the Yupo. I'm also going to do these little guys. And then I yabber a little bit. And so, oh my gosh.
Oh, my goodness.
I know. I think I didn't eat my Wheaties today. Oh.
Let's see if I've got something.
Do you have a screwdriver? Or a pliers, I mean?
I don't know. I'll go up
So that was my terracotta that the lid is not coming off of. Wait. Oh, I found another rust. Oh, I found another terracotta. But my mom's already gone in search of a screwdriver. So I've got my terracotta. I've got my cranberry. Yep, so if you don't want to see the copper on the edges, it'll be fine. And now, I do like to just do the dabby dabby. You could swoosh if you want to. I am just going to do the up and downy on the Miri Lava. So let's just start with some colors and just start playing. So that's my rust. Now on the Yupo, you could drop your colors directly on the Yupo. On the Miri Sparkle, it's just going to soak in. What?
Did you get it?
I did get one of them, but we'll take this and we'll get it so it at least opens.
Okay.
Ooh, that was a tough one. Here you go.
Yeah. I'll go put it back right away so I
Yeah.
don't forget.
So now we don't want to don't screw your alcohol ink lids on too tight. I do squirt rather bigger drops on here. So like I was saying, on the Yupo, you can drop your drops right on there if you wanted to. People blow them around with straws. I like to use the applicator. And so now I'm just doing a dabby dab. Oh, I can do my leaves too while we're doing that. So those will make pretty leaves just to accent. I didn't put them on the sample, but so it goes on rather dark on the Miri Sparkle, and it really only works on the silver and gold Miri Sparkle, because it just doesn't work on the darker Miri Sparkles because they kind of just stay that color. But the gold and silver are light enough that they'll actually change color. So we're just going to let that one for a minute, and it kind of looks like really dark, and it's going to lighten up. Now, like I said, you can take your inks and you can drop them on there. I've heard that spritzing this with alcohol ink first, like your alcohol ink blending solution, will make things blend around on there better. But you can drop your drops on there and drop your drops next to each other. I'm not going to do that. I am going to use my thing, but your inks will kind of spread out, and then people will use straws and blow it around. So you can get different effects if you drop your inks right on there. I like to use the felt pad just to mix the colors a little bit more. But yeah, you could do this all over your whole thing and have this whole autumny scene behind there. I've also used the yellow to make a big sun. But
ooh, that looks nice.
yeah, but I'm gonna put more ink on here. And I probably should have pulled out a different felt pad. See, this one is lightening as we go. So if you want it darker, you can, do it again. But the Miri Lava gives you one effect. So you could actually do your alcohol ink on your Miri Lava frame if you want to. This one is just a background because you're going to cover up a lot of it with your frame. So it's just your background behind it. I do have a piece of fuzz right there. I might have to get that off because it might bother me, or actually it might end up behind a vine. But I do have my little poker here. There we go. It's like I was doing surgery or something. So I have my alcohol ink background. Now, I'm not going to set it down yet because it's still probably wet. But see, those colors are then going to come through that frame. And it is a little bit bigger. Like I made this a little bit longer in case you had your fingers and we're touching one end. So we are going to trim this after it's totally dry. But, so, see that you can tell that I used a little bit more yellow on there, but here, let's go a little bit darker on here. So you can just color your Miri Sparkle. Now it's going to lighten up. It's dark, and it's going to lighten up a little bit. And I have one that I did when I was just messing around. Hang on. That's totally dry. So I have this like autumny one. And this is the one that I just did. Now it might not lighten to this color because this one I did again. This one probably only has one layer of alcohol ink on it. So, you know, we can put that behind there if we wanted.
Oh, Sarah.
What?
I see on Valerie Brown's picture, she's got somebody, either Valerie or her daughter, has got a shirt that says "Mom likes me best." You need to get some
I
of those
do need
shirts.
that.
You need that shirt, Valerie. Where did you get that shirt? Oh God.
But yeah, the lavas are kind of fun to alcohol ink too. So I just wanted to show you that because I did alcohol ink my leaves, which those could go on your card, you know, somewhere stuck in there or underneath your words. So anyways, that's the alcohol inking on either the Yupo or the Miri Sparkle. We haven't used the Miri Sparkle a whole lot with alcohol inking. So just on the silver and gold, just if you didn't want the solid gold Miri Sparkle. Now, you could go solid gold Miri Sparkle. It's just a lighter, so it's more of a tone on tone. So that works too. So you have all kinds of choices with this card. And if you want it to look more autumn, if you want it to look more goldish. So I am going to use my Yupo behind there. Excuse me. So you are going to trim your Yupo to fit behind your frame. So depending on how much you trimmed your frame, that's how you're going to decide how much you need to trim off your Yupo. Now I trimmed a little bit too much off my frame on this side, so I am going to go behind me and even out. Now you know that this could end bad if I start trimming too much.
Miri Sparkle, is it M-I-R-R-I, Sarah?
Yes, it's M-I-R-R-I and then the word sparkle. All one word. Yeah, we haven't used the Miri Sparkle with alcohol inks, but silver and gold, because the other colors really aren't going to change colors. And if I'm going to do the gold, I do like to use the more earthy tone colors. So I'm going to measure this and find out how long I need to trim my lava or my Yupo to. Whatever I'm using behind here, I'm just going to measure because you trimmed that, remember? Or you might have trimmed it. So mine is 5 1/8 inch. And the frame, the inside of the frame is 5 inches. So if you make this piece just slightly over 5 inches long.
So which Miri Sparkle were you using, Sarah?
The gold.
The gold.
Gold
right.
Touch.
Okay.
By 3 3/4. So if you make whatever piece is layering behind your frame slightly over 3 3/4 by slightly over 5, then it will fit. So let me pull this over here. So my 3 3/4, because that's the inside of the frame. And this is already just 3 3/8. So it will probably fit perfect this way. So we're going to trim it to just over 5, like 5 1/8. Yupo does cut like you're cutting through butter. You know, I bet that's what I cut the original piece of copper to. Yep, I did. I cut it to 5 1/8.
Oh, yeah. It's an eighth of an inch off or a quarter of an inch off?
Yeah, 1/4 of an inch off.
Eyes must have been playing tricks.
Yeah.
Or brain.
Or my brain. Okay, so now I'm going to use my microdot adhesive or glue. Sometimes when you get like little shavy things on there, you can take, I like to just use my fingernail. If you don't have a fingernail, you could also use like a, the edge of a, just something, just kind of scrape those off of there. Because the Miri Lava, the Miri Card, are all like films that are attached onto cardstock. So that's why you get sometimes, and based on how much your dyes are used too, which ours get used a lot, if you can imagine. But yeah, sometimes there's the little, I don't even know what to call them, the little like shavies. And I'll sometimes take my fingernail, like you'll see me do that on like some shapes. I'll go like this just to get that little thing off of there. Now this one has quite a few. I won't say that this was the easiest die to cut. Becky didn't eat her Wheaties that day, and I did, so I die cut these. She's like, wow, those were a little hard. So, so I'm going to use my micro dot adhesive, and I'm just going to attach that on there. So I got a few more little shavies that I want to get off. Snivlets. That's Ronna Lee's word, snivlets. Snivlets. Okay, so micro dot adhesive or glue to attach that on there. Let's see how much micro dot adhesive. Let's see if I have a micro dot adhesive that is wider than my piece of paper, which right now I only have that one. So I might be going onto the glue. Actually, here's a micro dot adhesive, but I don't know how used it is. Ooh, this one looks pretty used. Okay. Well then, what's the next best thing in Sarah's desk is my glue. And if you're using a wet glue, only use a small amount, because you don't want it to run all over. So small amount, because remember, it's, you're going to press it flat. So if you have a big glob, it's going to spread out. And if you have a very narrow border like I do, that means you have to be very conservative with your glue. Okay, so here we go.
Oh, Valerie said one of her sisters gave it to her for Christmas one year.
Gave her what?
The shirt that said...
Oh!
She said that Christmas her mother was in the ICU with pneumococcal sepsis, and we didn't know if she was going to live or not at that point. She did live, in fact.
Oh, nice.
When I opened up the shirt and opened it up and read the shirt, I burst into tears, and my poor sister said it was supposed to be funny.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because my kids are always saying, well, Jake's the favorite, Leah's the favorite. They never say that Josh is the favorite.
They never say that.
I don't think they ever do. So they always ask me, well, who's your favorite? And I always tell them it's a fluid situation. It depends on, it depends on who did what at the time or who's ticking me off. So,
oh, okay.
it's a fluid situation. They have all been they're all my favorites. So I always take the cop-out away. And I don't give them an answer. But it's fluid.
Mom likes me best. I know, we could go to a shirt place and get those, Sarah.
They actually need that for each other.
Yes.
Maybe I should give it to all of them for Christmas.
Yeah. We'll go over to the shirt place and get some printed up.
Sometimes when I put...
I'm the favorite.
Yeah.
I'm Mom's favorite.
So sometimes I'll use like a piece of Post-it note, you know, so I don't get my wet fingers everywhere. So they can all get them in their stockings. Okay, now depending on if you can layer it right on the card, like it does look pretty just right on the card without the copper. So, but if you have a piece of copper, or if you want me to mail you a piece of copper, I will definitely do that. I am going to put adhesive on the back
See,
of there.
I would use, because you know I'm a cheater.
Oh, my mom likes her gold leaf pen, right?
Yeah, this is my Krylon gold leaf pen.
Right.
I have silver and I have copper. This one I just had to bring it out here to get.
Yeah, I have a whole bunch of those, but they're all pretty dried up because they're from years and years ago.
So this is one of those things that we sold with our quilted card.
Here, do you want to throw that over here, Mom?
Sure.
So this is what she's talking about. How many of you have the pens? Because you can take them. I don't know if this one's all
I don't know
primed,
if it's got, yeah.
but you can put it on the edge of your paper if this one's not primed. Hang on, I'll shake it. But you can put it on the edge of your paper to put a perfect border around. Oh, this one's, yeah, you'd have to shake it.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, with the chisel tip, you just pull it along the border and you get like a perfect border.
Oh my gosh, and we were dealing with quilters who didn't know how to use chisel tips.
Yeah.
I would say, don't just smash that down. You have to smash it around. Yeah, this is pretty dried out too,
Yeah,
Sarah.
that one's pretty dried out. So now I attached mine to my copper, but if you have it, great. If you don't, I can mail it to you. Just let me know. Or I'll just send it to everybody at some point. Even if you say you don't need it, I feel bad. Attach that onto your card. Then, oh crap, I made a mistake again.
No.
I forgot to put this piece of copper. This piece of copper was supposed to go behind
See,
there.
it's just one of those nights.
But we can cut this and it can fit right in that square. That's what I'm going to do. Hang on. That was supposed to go behind there. But cutting it will work too. It is 1 3/4. Let me cut mine first just so I don't screw it up. 1 3/4 by 3. So hang on a second.
This tip there must be something goofy on this tip because there's plenty of ink down here, but it's not getting to the tip. That's weird.
So I'm cutting mine but just wait to make sure I cut mine to the right size.
Okay. Okay, Suze, let's go get the different
Yeah, I'm measuring, which I don't always do. There, 1 3/4 by 3 fits perfectly in there. You won't know that I did it wrong. Well, you guys will all know that I did it wrong, but nobody else will. Yeah, I don't always measure, but this one, I had it cut the perfect size to like layer right behind that if I would have thought of it. But otherwise it fits right in there. 1 3/4 by 3. Bam!
Oh, so the gold wasn't working, but the silver.
The silver's working?
Yes.
Okay.
But I like the gold and I like the copper.
So now you're going to cut your thanks. I didn't measure mine before I cut. I just cut it, but let's measure it. So I cut my thanks to
So we would teach them
2
how
3/4 by this ruler's hard to read.
Well, no wonder.
It's clear.
Yeah.
By 1 3/8. So, but it doesn't really matter. So, what did I cut it to? Hang on a second. 2 3/4
My lips are sealed.
by 1 3/8. Approximately. This is going to be cut your thanks to approximately, and then you'll cut whatever words you want. 2 3/4 by 1 3/8, or approximately that size. That one's not written in stone.
Diana Newman wants some of that copper, or that, the copper.
The missing copper piece.
Yep.
Yep, that's fine.
All right.
I probably will send it to all of you. And then you all have a piece of gold lava in there. And if you save some of that, you can use that on your little gift tag. Or you can use some of your copper that is too small on your little gift tag. It's unusual that I'm turning stuff over on my alcohol inked paper.
Did you say you're sending the copper?
I'm just going to send it to everybody.
Okay.
I'll just send it to everybody. So you don't have to say that you want it. I'll just send it to everybody unless you say, Sarah, I'm good.
Well, then I could write thank you notes again.
Yeah. When we were missing pieces this weekend, and it wasn't a tremendous amount. It must have just been, Becky and I figured it was when she put more kits together. She just missed putting them in there. And we were shipping metal plates. Becky and I, Brian was off, so we were shipping, and it was just Becky and I out there. So I asked my mom, will you do the envelopes for sending the missing pieces? So she did, but she
standard mother procedure.
she wrote little notes, and I would have just probably written sorry, and so she wrote nice little hand notes.
So here's the deal. I worked for a guy who was a newspaper reporter, and he was very particular about how you put letters together. Every letter had to have every note, thank you note, whatever, had to have at least 3 paragraphs in each.
Even if the paragraph is only a sentence long.
Yeah,
right?
well, and then there was another rule too, that the paragraph had to have at least 3 sentences in it, but mine didn't.
Well, anyways, so look at how that dried. So that dried pretty with the sparkle and the so it's not just a solid, it has a little bit of a modelly look. So anyways, thought I'd show you that. But now, if you want to add an additional leaf, one that you could do brown. Like, hang on a second, I'm going to pull out a brown, and just so I can make it darker so it stands out a little bit. See if I can find a brown. There's a brown. Hang on, I'm going to pull my alcohol inks out again, because I want to just do a brown. I want to see how a brown would look for the leaf. Could have done a green. I want it to be darker brown, so that brown doesn't work for me. That's espresso. That's not brown enough. I want it darker. There we go. There, now it's getting darker. Not quite dark enough. But anyways, I'm just going to let that for just a minute. You're going to pick a word, whatever word you want. This attaches with foam tape. And if you want to put your leaves behind it, you can. I still am bothered by that. I want to find a dark brown. We're attaching that right in the middle. You're picking out a word. I like this one. Thanks for just listening. Sometimes that's hard for people. It is hard.
Mm-hmm.
Just listening.
Mm-hmm.
Because you want to interject. But sometimes people just need you to listen and not say anything. So I picked out these words these phrases because I liked them. But yeah, you can use whatever you want. I'm going to do the thank you for making me smile. Because I like that too. I could give that to my grandbaby because, oh man, he was cracking me up. I mean, I wouldn't because...
Was he saying belly rub or did we figure it out?
Oh, no, he was, when I was watching him the other day, he was climbing up on something and he was rubbing his belly and he was saying something and it sounded like handstand, handstand, handstand while he was rubbing his belly. And I wanted to take a video of him so I could ask his mom and dad, what is he saying? I don't get it. And so I was videotaping him and I was cracking up, he was cracking up, and then he would jump on my lap. He would stand up on this thing, rub his belly, say whatever he was saying, and then I was laughing and he was laughing and he'd jump off onto me. So it was the funniest thing. Probably had to be there or you have to see the video.
What a kooky.
So I showed his parents when they got home. I said, what is he saying? And they watched it over and over again. Couldn't figure it out. So then I showed it to my mom. She couldn't figure it out. So none of us know what he was saying. None of us speak toddler.
Whole different language.
But yeah, he cracks me up. He makes me smile. A lot. So yeah, somebody said to me this week, they said, I heard a rumor. And I said, what? They said that you're going back out on the road doing shows. And I said, you know what? I miss seeing you all, but the grandbaby trumps you all. So no, we're not. That is a nasty rumor. So anyways, I took a little brown. I got a little brown on there, and I just added that little bit. And I think I'm just going to add a little bit of glue so I can just have it attach on the end. And I didn't say to do this, but just add my one little leaf there in brown. So, anyways, there we go. We'll put that one aside. And then we have, what's next? Then we have this guy. And I think I'm going to flip over this. Let's see if I have a clean side. Nope. Oh, I got a clean one. So let's go through pieces. Okay, so let's go through pieces. We have our envelope that we don't need right away. I'm going to put my alcohol ink stuff away. Should probably wash my hands. I don't know if I even, I'm not sure if I put these online under the Peaek-A-Boo Tri-fold Card.
I'll go look.
Yeah. Because we have an autumn package that has